We've had several requests over the last while with regards to belts, grinding belts, different grits, different structures. I thought I'd do a quick video on that. Firstly, before I start, something to consider is that if you're doing carbon steels and stainless steels, to keep your belts that you use for carbon steel, stainless steel separate. If you use a belt that you have ground carbon steel with on stainless steel, you'll tend to transfer some of that carbon steel onto the stainless, and that could cause rusting in your stainless. Okay, firstly, the stock removal belts that I use or that are available. Generally, most people use ceramic belts. Normal aluminium oxide belts work, but they are not as effective. Also, the zirconium belts work, but not nearly as effective as the ceramic belts. We do a whole range of ceramic belts. The VSM obviously is the product that's most popular with us. There we will do the ceramic and the ceramic plus. The ceramic plus is more for flat grinding, more for hard pressure grinding. The thing with a lot of these structures is they are made to break down. So as you work with the belt, your ceramic crystals will break down, and in doing so remain sharper and give you a much better life. The ceramic plus belts, the XK880s, 885s, are designed for hard grinding. They require a lot of pressure to break down. The other belts like the XK760s, XK870s are more suited for hollow grinding, more suited to less pressure. We also do, to a lesser extent, but we do the Norton belts, the Norton Blaze, as well as a new product for us, which is the Sunmite, or which is also known as the shredder belts in some places. Those are the ceramics. After the ceramic belts, we go to polishing. So stock removal, all our stock removal is done with ceramic belts. I work mainly with an 80 grit, but we do stock up from a 36 to 80, and we also have 180s available for those who want them. Then we go to polishing belts. Now the polishing belts, also various options available. One that I use a lot of is the GSM 712, which is a compact grain abrasive. And what this means is that the grains are made into little pyramids, and as you use the belt, the pyramids will break down, and so your belt remains sharper much longer. The top layer will break off, and as you go through it, you'll keep having sharp grit to cut with. These belts can also be dressed or resharpened with a diamond stone, diamond file. We also do, and these are available up to 1,200 grit, which I grind up to 1,200 before doing my hand sanding, and it really takes the pain out of hand sanding. We also do the Trizac gaiter belts. These are very popular, very long lasting belt, give a very nice scratch pattern, really nice belts. They also work very cool, and you also see that with the compact grain abrasives, is that you have a lot of air gaps in between your structure, which helps to drag air along with your belt while grinding, and this helps keep your steel cool. And the same with the gaiter belts. We stock the gaiter belts up to a 30, which is about a 700 grit. Then we do the Norton Norex belts. These are also very nice for polishing, also give you a very nice polished finish, and they are available up to a X6, at least they're X, or X5, sorry, which is approximately 3,000 grit. And these are also very long lasting, really good finish. We also do keep the new RK700, or also known as mud belts, from VSM. A lot of these belts have advantages and disadvantages. The advantage, as I said previously, with the KK712s from VSM, the compact grind abrasive, is that they grind nice and cool. Disadvantage is that, or one of the disadvantages to a lesser extent, is that it is a joint, it's got a butt joint, which can give you a bit of vibration on every time that joint comes past on your wheel, and but there are ways of getting rid of that as well. Maybe I can just go through that quickly. What I do is, on where that joint is on your belt, I put an old ceramic belt on my grinder, and I grind the grit away just over that joint. And what that does, it prevents this section here where the joint is to give you that bump on your blade and cause scratches that you don't want. Little trick that I've learned over the years. That's one of the disadvantages of those belts. The RK700 belt, you don't have that. It's a very smooth running belt. You don't have that bump. The disadvantage of the RK700 is that it does run hot. The finishes are great, but it runs hot, and you need to keep that in consideration. It's very well suited to wet grinding. If you've got a wet grinding system going, they are absolutely amazing. They last almost forever, and they're a really nice belt. Something else that we do keep is, obviously, again, in the Trizac, there's the normal Trizac belts, and these we have up to an A6, and also the surface finishing belts. Always, a lot of people, the common name is Scotch-Brite, but obviously Scotch-Brite is a 3M product. We also keep them from Ferd and from other suppliers. The surface finishing belts are great for doing vertical satin finishes, or to break sharp corners on blades, and they're great for that. Then on to handle grinding. Now, for handle grinding, I use and stock the VSM 711s. It's an aluminium oxide belt. They are suited to grinding both handle materials and steel, which is great if you're doing bolsters on your handles, or full tang knives where you've got handle material and steel in your grind, and they'll work evenly well on both. Also, we obviously do the Klingspor range. Something new that we've just received or just got in is the Scalloped belts. Now these, where a standard belt, grab one here, standard belt will have a straight edge. The Scalloped belt has a zigzag edge. And if you can see that, I'll get some contrast on this, do that. And you'll see, and what this does is, when you're running, and especially if you're shaping handles on a slack belt, a normal straight edged belt will tend to cut into your handle material, especially if you're working into curvatures. This does not do that. It'll run, it doesn't have a straight edge that runs into your handle, and it gives you nice smooth contours on your handles. These are really great. We currently have them in stock in a 220 and a 400 grit. So keep an eye out for these. Just something else on the compact grain, something that a lot of people might not know is the compact grain silicon carbide belts, which are really excellent for the guys doing folders. You know, they're very nice for working with titanium. And so the silicon carbide belts for polishing titanium are really nice. Just some other tips and tricks with belts. My stock removal belts, once I've finished using it for stock removal, it doesn't want to grind my blade that nicely anymore, I'll move it down to bolster finishing, and I'll keep using them for bolster grinding for quite some time. Don't chuck your belts away unnecessarily. The other thing is, don't keep using a belt that's dull. One of the biggest mistakes I see, especially beginners do, is trying to get life out of a belt that doesn't have life left. You are going to overheat your steel. You're going to put too much pressure on your blade trying to get life out of a belt, and it results in mistakes. So don't do that. Make sure that your grinding, your stock removal belts, polishing belts are sharp, are working. The last thing you want to do, and I've seen it so many times, is guys finishing a blade, doing the stock removal, going to polishing belts, and near the end burn the blade, and then it's scrap. Make sure your belts are sharp, make sure your belts are in a good working condition. All the belts that we carry are available on our website. If there's any other questions you have, feel free to contact us. All our contact details are on the website on sdknives.co.za, and give us a shout. We'd like to hear from you.